For example, sleep, you need to sleep north and sleep south. You sleep mainly on your left-hand side for your lymphatic drainage, you see. So most people don't know actually how to sleep properly. There's also sleep energy pose. I can show people how you actually, the sleep positions, show people how to sleep.
Yeah, so let's get back to our conversation. And hello and welcome to the episode number 19 now. And
wow, Jenny, thank you so much.
Yeah, and Michael, the spirit healer, welcome back to my show.
Absolutely.
Very
absolute
nice to
pleasure,
have you.
young Jenny. Absolute pleasure.
So this is episode number 19. If you guys are listening to this, you can always go to ascensiontalk.com and go to my blog there and have a look at episode number 19. And episode number 18, Michael shares his story a little bit more about his background and where he comes from, and why he started on this journey. So have a look there. So we're not going to talk too much about that today. So first of all, Michael, welcome to the show again. It's a really pleasure to have a chat with you. Can you just really maybe tell people a little bit what you do, so you can introduce yourself and where you're based?
Absolutely, yes. I was originally born in Adelaide in Australia, and it's all about the ley lines, which are energy lines, you see. So when you understand that the Tropic of Capricorn runs from Rockhampton through Ayers Rock through to Exeter, the other side of Australia, it's one of the major ley lines, just like Grid Point 44 is a major ley line in Wilpena Pound in Adelaide. So you see the energy is stronger. So that's why I now reside on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland in Australia. So the reason for that is if I'm up at Rockhampton, there's crocodiles in the sea, so I can't actually swim there. So this is why I resided where I am, because also the energies around Gympie, where there's a Gympie pyramid, is also the energy lines are very strong as well. So this also enhances my energy. So I'm based in Markoola. So
on the Sunshine Coast, Queensland.
So yes, exactly. So what I actually do, I heal people. I heal people online. I know how the energy lines work around a human's body, which sits in our spirit body, and I activate that either online or face-to-face. Face-to-face is stronger, and basically I transfer my spirit energy, which is God's energy, to another soul, and it becomes then their energy. And then that basically heals all diseases, because when massive electromagnetic currents run through the body, through your north and south pole, you stay strong forever. It's only when either your North Pole or South Pole disconnects you actually pass away. I should know because I've done that. So when that stays strong eternally, which is why, again, I pray north and I sleep north and south. Pray north and pray south. I sleep north, I sleep south. That's extremely, extremely important. So it's just a matter of finding a compass for the people at home, just to find out where the actual bed is positioned and to reposition that north. Please, that's a must-do.
And that, go on.
Yes. So what I do now is basically I just work. I have a little sort of area in my house, and I basically run hourly sessions. I work on donations only, so I'm not out for big money, but at the same time I still need to obviously feed myself and feed my family. So, and that's why, again, I've built my online course just so I can also survive, because yes, it's just obviously a matter of doing that until I can actually create things which people think is magic, but it's not actually and you create things from the universal substance, which is the God substance, which is another conversation, because I know the concept and how to do that, but actually doing it is another matter altogether. So I'm in my, what I call my infancy stage as compared to the God status, and I'm probably retrospectively probably about 10 years old. So as I grow and develop beyond measure, my knowledge will expand even further. So. But at this stage, as I said, my knowledge is immense on many things, and I try to explain that to people. I may come across as a normal soul when I'm walking down the street or I'm conversing with people, but my knowledge is expansive when it comes to even plasma and fractal field technologies or electromagnetic field technologies or building Nikola Tesla machines. I know how to do all those things, and I'll do those over the next few years. So when you have extremely strong energy underneath your feet, you actually can levitate. So this is where I'm having massive reactions to my mobile phone because that has electromagnetic currents around it. So does my computer, which I'm reacting to it now, as do the lights in my house. I'm reacting to the lights in my house as well.
And Michael, also, so before we get into a little bit how you work and we talk a little bit about the healing aspects of an Ascension and everything about life and all that,
Yes.
where do you think, where's your knowledge? Where I know you had a near-death experience. Is
Yes.
that when your journey started, or did you have this knowledge before?
I had. This is what people need to understand. It's just a matter of accessing that spirit knowledge, which is all around us. You just need to. It's like when Einstein had a light bulb moment, or whoever has a light bulb moment. I have light bulb moments all the time.
Yeah.
So words just come to me, or information comes to me, or I'm I am led to someone else that has specific information, or I'm led to a site online, and then I'll refer to that, and I learn even more. So, but it's also a matter of also learning how to astral travel, actually, to access the what people call the Akashic Records, which is basically like it's the only way to describe it is like video recordings of holographic images of all knowledge, and you can immerse yourself in that when you know the passwords and you know how to astral travel down below the earth and get past the guardians that actually guard the gates to all eternal knowledge. But that's another conversation as well, Jenny, on how to get to that.
Okay, let's start with what you talked about a lot in last episode. Something I haven't really tapped into too much, but sun gazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
if you'd like to share a little bit of that.
Absolutely, sure. I started now about 6 years ago sun gazing. So first I worked out that I could look at the morning sun and the evening sun, because that's what I was sort of initially had the understanding of that was so. But now that I'm 6 years in, I can look at the sun any time of day. It's not a problem. But when you first start, you must start with the first hour, last hour of sun, because you're just not used to it. And your eyes are technically weak, especially from wearing the sunglasses for many years. And people's eyes are weak. And people say my eyes are sensitive. Well, I say your eyes are sensitive because you don't know how strong you can make your eyes. You can make your eyes extremely strong, which again makes in your teeth and makes your whole body strong at the same time. So what I do is, like for example, this morning I was lying with my feet towards the morning sun. I had the soles of my feet in the sun. I had my palms up with the sun as well, because that get energy in the palm of your hands and the soles of your feet, and also was looking at the sun at the same time. So that's what I call getting 3 for 1. So you not only get energy in your eyes, you get energy in your palm of your hands, and then you can, for example, look at your hands. Look at your hands that then is in line with the sun. So when you do that, you get energy in your hands, which is why, for example, the Aboriginals in their cave paintings drew a sun circle and they put a hand in the middle. That's why the Aboriginals did that, for example. So a lot of people don't understand that ancient knowledge. So with the sun gazing, it's just as important to do the sun gazing and start with the first hour with the hands. Make a little triangle with your sort of hands together and with your thumbs in line and the hands slightly separated. Make a little triangle in the middle and you look through the triangle, and that stops the glare. And then you can use each eye to look at the sun and gaze at the sun. And what I say is I love, Lord God, I love the sun, because the sun is actually a being. I love, Lord God, I love the earth, because the earth is alive. I love, Lord God, I love myself, because love binds every soul together. So love is words and thoughts are so paramount and so important. So I say those things just in my mind when I'm doing that, and that's important. So you can just look at the sun. If you don't say those are keywords in your mind, it doesn't work as well. It just does not work. So it's very important that people do this as well. Another most important thing is to remember is the Hindus drew a line down the middle of the forehead, and that's because an energy line runs straight through our middle of our body, like in line with our spine. Also, your energy runs out the sides of your body, around the sides and periphery of your body, in line with your shoulders, in line with your hips, in line with your your ankles on a 90-degree angle to the middle line. So we're like split into 4 ways with our energy. And then there's another line that comes out sort of midway between those points. So we're like a big sort of, and the energy actually sits around the periphery of us when you actually extend your arms fully and extend your legs fully. So again, when you're doing like a, star stance or extending your arms out at a 90-degree angle, like in a massive cross, and then your feet together, then you basically can start to get energy into yourself as well, and you start to feel the energy even stronger. So when also another thing to do is why actually you stand sideways and you stare at this, you can do the sun gazing. So you stand sideways, for example, you stand north because the sun rises in the east, you stand north and then you look at the sun, and then you stand south and then you also look at the sun.
So what is
sorry, one more thing. So then once you've looked at the sun, it's most important then to what I call do the shadow work, which is mean you also look at your shadow. So basically you turn yourself around in line with the sun, wherever the sun is, and you look at your shadow for a good, as long as you've looked at the sun gazing, because then if you think your head is like a magnifying glass, you reflect the power of the sun through your head to the ground, and you'll start to get energy into your whole body. So it's best to do with less clothes on. I cannot emphasize that enough, and no shoes on. So you're getting into your energy into your whole body, you see.
Oh, very interesting. So this is a part of the ascension process.
It is, because we need to become as one. We need to become as strong as the sun above, because there's sun below us. But you want to get pulled up to the sun above and not pulled down to the sun below, because see, there's massive, strong electromagnetic currents that come out from the sun and from the moon, which regulates our moon tides. Yes, with the sea tides, with the sea. You see, so it pulls the water. So we are a good 70-75% water, and when you make the water inside us and our blood inside us electromagnetic, you get pulled. You get pulled north and south. You get pulled upwards, and then you feel really strong energy currents, and eventually you have a line of sparks and a massive line of energy bolts that comes out the top of your head, because I can feel that already. So and it comes out like big sort of wings. You've got 2 antennas that come out of your left and your right cerebrum at the top. So and then you've got points that come out of the tips of and the very corners of like your shoulders up the top on the corners. So you think like a big sort of butterfly, and you can imagine the energy lines around your body. When you imagine the energy lines on your body, you can activate them every morning, because you see the energy sits in our spirit body. It leaves us every night, then you have to reactivate it every day. And that's what people say to me, say, you gave me some energy, then I lose it all. Well, you see, if you don't enhance the energy every day, you can lose it. So because people love people that are extremely strong with electromagnetic energy. So you have to replenish it every day through sun and moon gazing, through praying, and through saying the right words and using what I call the right mantras, and then mudras, which are hand poses, which completes the circuit with your fingers. See, Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna are 2 good examples, for example, of great masters that used mudras all the time, for example. So there are hundreds of mudras, and I teach many in my course, but many more I've learned since. But again, once people enroll in my online course, Supernatural Enlightenment course, they're enrolled for life, because I'm just going to keep adding to that course. But as I said, it's just a matter of, how much information do people want to learn? It's just never be afraid of the sun. Never be afraid of the sun. This is the thing. And always seek knowledge, and always be of eternal love, eternal power, eternal wisdom, you see. Which is why I say, Lord God, I am eternal power. Lord God, I am eternal, blessed with eternal love. Lord God, I am blessed with eternal wisdom. The 3 manifests of a God is love, power, and wisdom, you see. So those 3 things, once you manifest those, which comes back to atonement, which is at-one-ment, which means you achieve one major thing at a time. You can't achieve 3 or 4 things at once, because you get lost. So you achieve one major thing at a time. So you achieve your power first, then achieve your love, then achieve wisdom. So or you can do it the other way around, but it's best to achieve the power first, because then you become extremely strong, from my experience.
And I just wanted to ask you, because you mentioned moon gazing as well, what's the difference?
Okay, that's a fantastic question, Jenny. I love it. So I'll answer that for
You're
you.
welcome.
Yes. Because I can tell you what is so and why it is so. So I'm going to tell you because you asked me.
Yes.
So you get serotonin from the sun, which gives you vitamin D and basically it gives you the energy beyond measure. So from the sun. You need serotonin to wake you up during the day. You need melatonin, which you get from the moon for your circadian sleep cycle, which is to sleep, you see. So people that don't sleep very well, they try to take these tablets and things and melanin. It doesn't work because you trick your body into thinking that you have the melatonin in your body, but then your body doesn't produce it naturally. You need it from natural sources. Just like same with vitamins, you need it from natural sources, not from vitamin pills in a bottle. It just does not work well at all. This is what people need to learn and understand. So when you do the moon and get the moon gazing, because you see the sun is charges, and the earth also charges the moon with the electromagnetic energy. So also when the planets line up, the energy is multiplied like 3 or 4 times. So for example, you have a solar eclipse, I'm out there straight away. You know, if I know that the planets are going to align, I use, for example, an app like Redshift, and I know when there's going to be planetary alignments, and then you know when, for example, Mars or then, you know, and the moon are lining up with the Earth, for example, or with the sun. So when they line up, then it's most significant because that also amplifies the energy dramatically. So when you understand that the moon tides, which is like pulling the seawater, and that we're extremely electromagnetic and very, very powerful beings, and I'm a living example of that, then everyone can do exactly what I am doing now and heal all diseases and learn from me and then become mega strong, and then you won't worry about any sort of illness. You'll never become unwell. You live in harmony. You feel fantastic. You're just not as hungry. So I could not eat for days if I don't want to. I don't have to. But I eat for pleasure. So I eat, for example, an evening meal, have a bit of a smoothie in the morning. That's all I have. That's all I eat now. And then when your energy is extremely strong and you can feel that your pineal gland is cracked in your head, mine's cracked twice in my head, then your pineal gland expands, as I said before, from a grain of rice to a size of a pine nut. And that again expands the energy and the neurons that connect within the left and right cortex of the brain, and then your brain capacity, which connects to your spiritual body, because no thoughts actually exist in our brain. It's just a conduit between our spiritual body and our physical body. All actually thoughts actually exist in our spiritual body. So if you manifest out love and peace, if you manifest out, you know, hate and anger and these things, then you're going to permeate that out to others around you. So you want to permeate out love and manifest universal abundance, and then you can do so.
I'm just a little bit curious, like last time when we chatted, last interview, you did a healing afterwards on me, and you also mentioned a little bit about the other gland we have here.
Yes.
What is that one called?
So the thymus gland.
Yeah. And
thymus, yeah. Yes.
My goodness,
yes.
Like there must have been something that really released, because I was so emotional, and it just felt like I was it was something that was shifting and shifting and shifting.
Yes.
And now I feel so much stronger. So can you tell a little bit about that gland there?
Sure, I'd love to tell you about that. Absolutely, of course I can. So the thymus gland it's a bit like a shape of a crown.
And where it is, please.
Yes,
so,
it sits just above the heart. That basically sits just above the heart, and that is like our heart or our love crown. I call it our love crown, and that produces T cells. It normally stops working prolifically when a soul is about 15 or 16 years of age, which does not need to happen. It can keep operating. So this is why, again, I take the stem cell product, which again enhances the growth of the T cells, which regenerate every single cell in our body. But it's also the same thing that can do this with extremely strong electromagnetic energy. It can reactivate the thymus gland. And when you reactivate the thymus gland, guess what? You become younger. You don't age. You actually reverse your age. So I'm the real life Benjamin Button. So I'm getting younger as I get older. Cool. So I'm not going to age anymore. So when I'm 200 years old, I'll look like I'm sort of 40. When I'm 300 years old, I'll still look like I'm 40. When I'm 600 years old, I'll look like I'm sort of 40. So this is what people need to understand. It's all the mindset. If you think you're old, then you're old. If you think you're younger and you live as a child within and you live as the God within in your spirit self, then you manifest what you want and you stay young forever.
And how can you keep stimulating that in terms of what you eat as well?
Sure. Okay. So that's an excellent question. So that comes back to all things, you see. Okay, God is just so clever, magically clever. So you need to think of the colors of the chakras. Yes. So come back to red, orange, yellow, green, blue, actually white, and indigo and violet. Yes, all the colors of the spectrum. So it comes back to also the red of the blood, which is so significant. So all things like raspberries, strawberries, capsicum, all things that are red are extremely beneficial. So even tomatoes, all these sort of things are going to help your blood and help your heart as well. So also all things that are shaped, for example, an apple is shaped like a heart, and the red apples are extremely good for us as well. So all these sort of things are going to help certainly with that. On all those things that I actually am like a pescatarian, so I eat actually a lot of fish as well. So we actually need good omega oils as well, 3, 6, and 9, for example. Very significant, so extremely significant. Which is why I eat the oily fish, which is like the salmon and sardines and actually ocean trout or freshwater trout, because they're extremely oily, and it's really good for us. But you see, also you need what I call. Okay, here's the thing. You need a high silicon diet, a natural silicon diet, which is good for our skin. It's good for all our organs. It's so good for all of our bones. It's so good for everything in our body. And and also all the ligaments and the joints, which is why a lot of people get what I call arthritis, which is just a terrible thing to have. And to negate and stop that, you need to eat things like cucumbers, okra, aloe vera, zucchini, squash. These type of things are really high in natural silicon. So when you eat these on a regular basis, it keeps your skin quite supple and it keeps all your organs quite well. And it's a really good thing. The other color, of course, is green, is for the heart. So all your green leafy vegetables, every single fruit or vegetable or anything that's especially green is good, extremely good for the thymus gland as well.
Oh,
but above the biggest thing, Jenny, that's the most beneficial for the thymus gland is actually getting energy into your heart space. And that's done through prayer, through the proper blessing techniques, which I explain in my course, because that's quite complex to explain. I can't do it's hard to do that here to explain it, because it take me hours to explain it, which is why I've got about 30 hours of knowledge in my online course. So once you've got the energy in see, your head becomes very strong through sun and moon gazing and prayer. It eventually might become like a light bulb, and you generate a lot of energy, become very hot. So when people say they're unwell and they're hot, it's actually misinformation. So when your chi energy is extremely strong and become extremely warm, which is why I enjoy swimming in the sea, because it cools me down.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Can we just maybe talk a little bit about that? We can't cover everything today. It's already gone 20 minutes. So I just wanted to, I'm having a look at the course here. They have different online supernatural enlightenment course and Rolfing online course. Can you just briefly tell us a little bit about that? What Rolfing is and what you teach there?
Sure. Mm-hmm. So Rolfing is I've actually morphed and improved the Rolfing techniques. So that is like, for example, okay. So come back to the classic Swedish massage, and this is what they don't understand.
Which I don't understand what it is. I'm Swedish.
Okay, sure. So,
I never knew what it was.
Okay, so what they're taught in classical, massage schools, they're not taught properly. So it's all about relaxing the muscle and understanding about how the muscles actually work. So actually, when you massage along the muscle, it actually can release it. When you actually hold the muscle, and when you also what I call tweak the muscle either side very gently, and it's a gentle movement, but also then you hit what I call the trigger points, which is at the very top of the muscle, or at the end of the muscle, where the muscle joins to the ligaments and the bones, you actually can release tension in that whole muscle. It's all about the trigger points that relate back to the meridians around the body, which also, so Rolfing, when I say it's just Rolfing, it's more than Rolfing. It also comes back to the 8 and 12 meridian lines, which are on the body, which are the pressure acupoints, which is what acupuncture is. And you can do that with your thumbs or with your hands, and you can impact that. But also, for example, I'd take, for example, your arms or your legs, and then I would mimic the movements that a soul would do. But I would take all the weight of the arm or the leg, for example, and then that really gives that a limb no choice but to relax, because you don't have to use those muscles. I do the work for you. So basically, I'd hold it, and then it's like a light shaking sort of movement, and then it's like a sort of wobbling movement, and different sort of movements that I would mimic. And you'd be surprised actually how many people actually are what I call locked up. They're locked up with their arms, they're all tense,
aren't we all?
No, I'm not. But I'm saying, like, you should be extremely flexible and do these things and be able to stretch, and so people don't. And again, doing the yoga is so important too, to be as some masters would say, Bruce Lee said, be like the water, be flexible. You have to be as one with the earth, as one with the sea, as one with the water, as one with the fire, and as one with the lightning, and as one with the air.
That is very true. And the other course that I had a look, that's more like a longer one, isn't it? Like, you but you also do this one-on-one as well, if people want. But it's, can you just briefly tell us about the other course?
Okay, sure.
That's more the online supernatural enlightenment course, yeah?
Yes, it's all explained in my course, but I'll certainly synergize and go through that, because it took me years to build that course, Jenny, years.
Yes.
And I've covered all things from physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, transcendental, and enlightenment, or ascension, if you like. So it's not a course you'll find anywhere else in the world. You just won't. And I'm not trying to be big-headed. I'm just not ego-driven. I'm just saying that because I was just given the knowledge to do it, and I've done it, and I'm doing it. So for example, just talking about physical. So physical is so important. You see, actually, what is more important is actually living in the spiritual self rather than the physical self, because the physical self then becomes strong. So coming back to physical, it's a matter of people actually don't know how to sleep, eat, talk, walk, pray. For example, I'll give you an example, classic example. So you shouldn't say HAT, you should say dislike. So when you talk, for example, I'll give you an example. Devil, for example. So certain words of magic is lived backwards, for example. Just like when you think of a bank, like a bank where you get money, it comes from the banks of Arua, which comes back to currents of Arua, which is currency, you see. So again, which is like the words, right useness, which is using things correctly, is righteousness, right useness. Then, for example, organ, like the organ in the churches it plays, like relates to the organs in our body. So all these things. It comes back to Christ I am. It's not Christian. It's Christ I am. For example, it's not God is with us. God is within us. So it's all words. Everything you say, every thought you have, is recorded just below heart space and played back to you if you pass over. I'll rephrase it, if you pass over, which I won't pass over again, so work that out as well. So what that means is that your thoughts and words need to be so significant, which is why you should pause at least 2 seconds before you say anything. Also, why your thoughts are so paramount, your thoughts within yourself. So again, this starts to get into the mental part of it, but again, it's related to physical. But again, the physical is I do a lot of weights. I exercise a lot. I can do more weights than when I was 25, and now I'm supposed to be 54, for example. I have a better diet now than when I was, for example, when I was in my 20s and 30s. So because again, I learned about food. So again, I learned about proper food. So the other thing is we need a high iron diet. So actually, the highest thing in iron is actually sarsaparilla, but also other things that are high in iron. Things like fish and nuts and other things that we need to maintain, the iron in our body. Not so much spinach. So all these things that people need to understand about staying strong. But they're also learning, for example, what inhibits iron absorption in your body, and dairy inhibits iron absorption in your body. So this is what people, because it inhibits iron it doesn't process the iron in your duodenum. So you need a high iron diet. You see, the iron, when it comes back to the iron in your body, guess what? Iron conducts electromagnetic energy. So you need the iron in your body to make sure that you also have the stronger electromagnetic currents running through the physical body, which relates back to the spiritual. So I could talk for hours even just about the spirit.
Oh, but I have you back. I have you back another time. Yeah, but let's have you back another time.
But you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to, for example, go through that. There's just one for physical, one particular aspect.
I know.
So as I said, walking, when people walk, actually don't walk correctly, as I said before. You actually should walk not on the heel, because walk on the heel is lazy. You walk on the ball of your foot, and you walk with your hands, palms facing outwards. That's actually how you walk. And you walk like you're walking like on a bicycle, and that actually enhances your energy when you walk.
Wow.
For example.
Yeah.
So sleep, for example, you need to sleep north and sleep south. You sleep mainly on your left-hand side for your lymphatic drainage, you see. So most people don't know actually how to sleep properly. There's also sleep energy pose. I can show people how the sleep positions show people how to sleep.
Yeah.
So
but you also have your Facebook page as well, which is great. People can go there because you have a little bit tips there as well.
Yes.
And I saw I actually put a thing on my Instagram and I tagged you there, but I'm not quite sure if you are on Instagram yet. I did see you are there.
Yes,
but,
yes.
Yeah,
I
you're
use
kind of slow.
Because I react to all things, electric.
Yeah, but Facebook, you have the Spirit Healer there.
I have Facebook.
As well.
I mainly use Facebook.
Yeah.
With the social apps, I try to minimize them.
So Me too.
For example, I'll give you an example. Let me give you an example, Yenny. So I went and walked up Mount Coolum the other day, and I got to the top of this beautiful, 300-meter mini mountain, which is near me on the Sunshine Coast. And when I got to the top, I saw these young people, and there was about 12 people at the very top of this mountain. Beautiful, magical view. And 9 out of the 10 people were looking at their iPhones, looking at their phones. And I said to them, what a beautiful day. Isn't it disappointing that, people choose to they can look at their phones at any time, but, people don't listen to the beautiful birds, and they don't, look at the beautiful sea view and take in the scenery and everything else. And everyone just at the top just looked at themselves, and some stopped looking at their phones. So all I'm saying is it's just an awareness of the self. And again, so sure, we can use the Facebook, but Facebook again is not real. It's not a real reality. When you get Facebook likes, it's not the same as having a true conversation with somebody and then give them a hug afterwards, and then it's just not the same. Sure, if you connect with somebody and then you connect with them physically, then it's beneficial. But if it's substitutes for real life conversations and real life transactions, then it's not such a good thing.
Yeah, I'm going to go to a Christmas party this Friday coming, and it's going to be 25 of us clients and staff. I work for this company, but it's going to be so lovely because I always work from home, and I usually just see people on Zoom, and so it's such a different when you actually connect, because it's all about that energy as well. You can do through the computer, but the actual energy when you meet in person is very amazing, and the exchange you have there, and so it rubs off.
So this is what I need people to understand. So all of the extraterrestrials basically communicate telepathically. They don't need to talk. So eventually, in a couple of 100 years' time, humans on Earth will learn this. But at the moment, they're still very basic, and I just need to be honest, 95% of the population are not even close to even understanding telepathy and how that works. But when two souls are connected by me, through me, with the energy, then you start to you can start to communicate telepathically, because the currents and the two are connected. Which is why, for example, when a lady has twins, then those two twins have psychic abilities, or they can then communicate to each other, know the thoughts of each other, because they were born together and they've existed like for 9 months together. So therefore their energies have exchanged. And it's the same when, for example, a couple's been together for 20 years. They can often read the thoughts of another person. But I can speed that up dramatically when a soul becomes extremely strong with the energy. Because again, it's all about the belief and the faith. If you start to believe you can do it, and you practice and you do the right things in the right way, then you can start to become telepathic and more psychic.
Let's talk about that next time. Next time we have a chat about telepathy and all that. I had a really cool experience, actually. I think one of my first interviews I did with a guy called Robert, and he's down in Victoria, and he had a dream about me before we met. And, all that thing, we never met at all, but we met in other levels and realms and all that kind of stuff. And it's really cool how you can connect by being star seeds, or having that kind of connection. And
absolutely,
I just find it amazing how universe works. And but once you start to tap into that and acknowledge that, and start to open up a little bit to see that we actually have more power and we have more energy and abilities than we thought we had.
Absolutely,
that's when your journey starts. And it's not weird. It's just a part of life. And that's what a part of my show is as well. I just wanted to show people that, we all are different and we all have different thoughts and that kind of stuff. But and I just wanted to show people different people that's got different stories. And I just want people to open up, because we're here for the ascension process and we better start now.
Yes. See, this is the awakening of the earth, and those who need to become awake and awaken. So the earth is moving through the next 1,000 years. It's moving through a very strong electromagnetic energy belt, if you like. So the earth is being moved into that as we speak now. So the earth energy is actually getting stronger. And people may feel that, especially if they live in certain regions around the earth, especially around the equator sort of regions as well. So again, it's so paramount and important that people learn the right processes to activate this energy. So going back, so this is what people don't understand. So this will be the 7th time the earth is going to be remade, because again, there's humans, there's nasty humans, and there's good humans. The nasty humans are trying to overtake the earth in conjunction with some of the extraterrestrials, and trying to stop us from ascending, because they want the earth for themselves. So I'm not going to let that happen. So what I'm saying is people need to learn to become mega powerful and become as strong. And see, again, don't be afraid of the sun. Don't be afraid of lightning. See, fear is the only thing that holds you back from achieving eternal energy, eternal power, eternal wisdom, and also your own self-beliefs of your self-worth. So it's all these things just are so critical. So going back to, for example, other really advanced civilizations that resided. Actually, I'll go back. So actually currently reside on Earth, because you see, we move through time, but time itself does not change. People need to think about that for a week, yes?
Or a month.
So you can move through time however you want. I choose not to move through time as fast as others. So this is the thing. So for example, let's talk about the Atlanteans, for example, when they existed here, some 40,000, 50,000 years ago, with Lord Thoth. There were pyramids all around the earth, and what they did with our basic energy centers, just a bit like the Nikola Tesla machines, and actually electrified and synergized all of the ley lines. So then there was electromagnetic energy currents, strong electromagnetic currents permeating through the whole earth. That's why they built the pyramids. They were energy centers, you see. And that's why, for example, the pyramid at Giza and its actual coordinates relate to the speed of light. It also relates to and maps exactly to the Orion constellation. So it's not by magic. So these things happen. it's not by magic that other ancient churches and stuff in northern France line up to other constellations and things like that, like in the Virgo constellation. So all these things that people don't fully comprehend, understand. I mean, how many conversations do people want to have with me to understand all the different things? And I'm not trying to be up. I'm just saying, like, it just is.
Oh, there's so much. Yeah.
It's just I try to encapsulate as much as I can in my course, but I have done that, and I'm going to keep expanding on that. So, and I'm happy to share, which is why, again, I just, if people are poor, I heal them for free, or if they're very extremely unwell. So.
And how can people contact you the best? That's the spirit healer.
So it's best through the spirit healer through Facebook, please.
Yes.
I am the spirit healer. There's only one the spirit healer. It's the at the front. And if they send me a message through the spirit healer, I'll get the message wherever they live in the world. Yeah. You see. And so I rarely check my emails through actually my spirit healer website, but I'd prefer not an email, or they can contact me directly, through my numbers, my phone number, which is actually on my website.
Yeah, and that is thespiриthealer.com.au.
That is correct.
Yeah,
yes.
Cool.
And, but my phone number for Australians is in there.
Excellent. Yeah. But I have you back another time, and we talk more about other things, and maybe we can just have one or two topics, and we can talk about that.
Absolutely.
I'm always happy to chat with you. It's always lovely. So
always a pleasure to talk to you, Jenny.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. So I'll put this one up very soon, and. Thank you for being on my show.
Absolute pleasure, Jenny. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Many blessings.
Thanks.